And welcome to Nosy Tarot Entertainment, where this nosy person plays with tarot cards for entertainment only. Today's reading is going to be on the group Katseye. This was requested by Markia Groves 4643. We're going to go ahead and get started with major arcanas. All of my cards are already pre-shuffled and they are freshly charged in the full moon. Let's get started. Also keep in mind we are reading as a group, as a whole. What is the overall major arcana for Cat's Eye, please? Overall major arcana for Cat's Eye. Overall major arcana for Cat's Eye, please. And while I was shuffling these cards in particular, I saw the Devil and the High Priestess. What is the major arcana for the career of Cat's Eye? Major arcana. That's funny, it fell on top of all of the other decks. And what is the major arcana for the connection between the members in this group? The connection between the members in this group. What is the major arcana for the connection between the members in this group, please? And near future for this group. Near future for Cat's Eye, please. Near future for Cat's Eye. Okay, so overall major arcana for Cat's Eye is the Sun in reverse. Okay, so this is about maybe not getting to as quick a start as they might like. Maybe they were a little more optimistic and maybe their parade has been rained on, so to speak. They were hoping for a little more recognition, maybe I don't know, maybe they were hoping to debut an album in like the top 50 Billboard or whatever. I'm sorry, I don't really know about that stuff, but maybe they were hoping to debut an album within a certain, number, and maybe they didn't quite achieve that. And so perhaps they are a little discouraged. But I think that this was their career. And so I think that they're on their way to being recognized. I think that they're still gaining popularity. Maybe they're rather new. I want to say that Markia Groves 4643 said that this may be a K-pop group and maybe they were created in America. Unfortunately, I just wrote down the group that Markia had requested. I didn't write down any specifics, but I say that because maybe they're still gaining traction. Maybe they're a brand new group. This is the Hermit in the reverse. So this can talk about, coming out, being part of the community and part of society again. And it can also be that maybe they're a little withdrawn, which could be about nerves, considering that the overall major arcana is the Sun in reverse. So maybe they're just a little nervous, or maybe, they're just a little surprised by, whatever it was that is making them feel a little sad. Now, let's see the connection between the members. The Moon. Okay, so this makes me feel like they're still getting to know one another. There can be some, I get the sense of like cliques, like maybe, I don't know how many members are in this particular group, but maybe, these two are closer and then those two over there are a little bit closer. So maybe there are more bonds that are stronger between just a few. And as a group, as a whole, they're still trying to learn each other, notice like who's got strengths in what areas and who might need a little more help in other areas. And this could also be that they are sharing secrets and really just kind of observing each other. And then the near future, the World in reverse. So when I'm talking about groups, this usually gives me a couple of things, and this makes me curious if maybe they were hoping to go on tour and maybe it gets pushed off. Maybe they were hoping to release something or do like a meet and greet, something that is going to interact them with the public, with the fans, and maybe it gets pushed off. Now I want to just pull some general cards. We're going to do a general spread and then we'll clarify. Remember, we are reading for a group as a whole. Now, this is friends and family. I'm going to do one for management and one for the fans. So the overall energy for Cat's Eye is, oh, okay, yeah. So this is the Three of Pentacles in the reverse. So this talks about like an apprenticeship. This talks about being in a learning environment, collaborations, working in groups. And because this is in the reverse, this tells me that there might be a little conflict, a little friction. It could be because they are still getting to know one another because of the major arcana that we got, but it looks like there may be a couple of bumps in the road. We'll definitely clarify that. Now let's see what this reading is primarily about. Okay, so this is the Wheel of Fortune in the reverse. And again, this makes me feel like they feel things are not going as they had expected. Like maybe stuff kind of fell into place, everything just kind of lined up. And so they really felt like there was some kind of destiny, some divine intervention. But it seems like maybe whatever it is that was working out so nice and smooth is no longer working out quite as easily. Let's see what is crossing or opposing them. The Magician in the reverse. Okay, so this talks about feeling as though you're being overlooked. Maybe you feel as though your talent is being wasted and like you're not being able to show the best versions of yourself. And so you have a little bit of creator's block, writer's block, a little bit of an issue being productive or conjuring and creating something. What is on the conscious mind? The Eight of Pentacles. So this talks about perfecting their crafts, about or perfecting their craft and working and just kind of improving and refining whatever it is that you are doing. And I always think of this one deck that I have. It's the Sugar Skull deck, and it shows this man who it looks like he's working with like metal or creating pretty much metal. But in that book in particular, it talks about people coming from all over the neighborhoods, all over the state and the terrain to come and get his goods. Because he has established a reputation and people want what it is that he's selling. And I think that this talks about Cat's Eye working to bring people to see them, to draw the people to them. Let's see what is on the subconscious mind here. Okay, so this is the Ace of Pentacles in the reverse. So I think that subconsciously they're concerned about failing. I think that they are concerned about not doing well. They're concerned about failing, losing money, having made a bad investment. And yes, this can be an investment with money, but also with time and energy. Let's see what is in the past. The past is the Page of Pentacles in the reverse. So I actually feel like this is pretty optimistic because the Page of Pentacles, well, any page is a young, inexperienced energy. Sometimes they can be naive, but a lot of times they just haven't been out in the world for very long, so they haven't gained much experience. But with this being in the reverse, I get the sense that they have been through some things that has taught them to better control their resources, to use them better, and to capitalize on them. And when I say resources, resources come in various shapes and sizes. So resources can, yes, be money, but it can be time, it can be talent, and it can be like persuasion, it could be words. So I think that they have been through something where they were a little inexperienced, but it looks like they may be leveling up, learning from past experiences. So that is always a good thing if we're learning. Let's see what is in the near future. The Hanged Man. Okay, so the Hanged Man, I really like the Hanged Man. It is a bit of a double edged sword because if you look at this Hanged Man here, he is on a break. He's hanging out, he's dangling from a tree, and he looks like he's comfortable though. Some hangmen are like really uncomfortable. Someone can be holding them upside down over a cliff, they can be tied to the tree. But this one, he seems pretty comfortable, or they seem pretty comfortable. They're like smiling, and I don't know, they just seem comfortable. And I also like that there is light above and below them because this is about like energy and illumination that is behind them and also in front of them. Now, the thing with the hangman is that there is a pause, but I think that this is a comfortable pause for them because they look comfortable. And I like that there is a group of people here because we are talking about a group. And I like that there are various shapes and sizes. And so I think that in the near future, I actually feel as though this is the present. They're doing this now, having learned, from past experiences, being scared of failure, and having their work on their mind. I think that they are going through some process of clarity, of learning, of ideas. Now, let's see their energy in regards to these cards, which honestly just looks like a lot of anxiety, a lot of doubt, maybe some fear, but again, some inexperience. Okay, so this is the world in the reverse again. So we got that earlier, and that was their near future. So this is kind of how they're already feeling. They are already living in a world that is upside down for them. And that does make sense with this Wheel of Fortune in the reverse being upside down in the reverse as well. Because I think that they've been caught off guard and they have been surprised by something and not pleasantly surprised. Now, let's see friends and family. Justice in the reverse. So I think that their friends and family have a little bit of a concern as well. I think that there is some doubt there. And I think that their primary concern is if the things that are being done are in the best interest for the group. And then let's see here, the lovers. Okay, so I love the lovers here because this talks about bonding. This talks about having someone that is your equivalent. Y'all are equally yoked. You're both passionate and strong, and you're invested in each other and in the journey. So that is amazing. Love that card. And then here we have the Two of Pentacles in the reverse. So this talks about having trouble balancing, maybe balancing time, money, the physical, the spiritual, the time you've invested, and the rewards that you are reaping. So it looks like there is definitely some issues in balance, and it is in relation to material things. Now let's see a hope or a fear. Okay, so this is the Five of Cups in the reverse. So this is definitely a hope. This is a hope to come out of darkness, to come out of sadness, to come out of tough times, and to reestablish yourself, to take control, focus on the good things that you have, the strengths that you have, and to move forward in confidence, knowing that you have these things that you are good at, that you areas that you are strong, and it brings you out of the shadows and out of darkness and depression. Let's see the final outcome. Final outcome is the moon in the reverse. So we did get the moon earlier. So we've gotten 2 repeat cards. The moon is in the reverse now, though. But I think that this is actually pretty positive because I think this talks about the group members being vulnerable and transparent with one another. And I think that really translates well when we are talking about creative people. And I think that this is a positive for them. Now, let's do some clarifications. I want to know about this Three of Pentacles in the reverse. I want to know about, yeah, Wheel of Fortune in the reverse. I want to know about this Page of Pentacles in the reverse. I want to know, yeah, we're going to do quite a bit of clarifying. And then the moon. Okay, so let's see what comes out. Give us more information about this Three of Pentacles. Give us more information. I'm going to leave that over there. Give this, look at that, just falling out. Okay, give us more information about this Wheel of Fortune in the reverse, please. Wheel of Fortune in the reverse. Clarify this Magician in the reverse, please. Clarify this Magician. That fell on the Moon card. Give us more information about this Page of Pentacles in the reverse, please. Clarify this Hanged Man, please. Clarify this Hanged Man. Give us more information on the World in reverse, please. More information. Clarify this Moon in the reverse, please. Clarify this Moon in the reverse. Thank you. Okay, so lots of stuff came out over here clarifying what I felt like was, a little bit of division, inability to work together. And we got a lot of cards that are also in the reverse. We got the Seven of Swords in the reverse, the King of Pentacles in the reverse, and the Knight of Wands in the reverse. So I think that there is some competition going on between them. And unfortunately, I feel like somebody is using that to kind of string them along, maybe to motivate them. And I think that instead of doing what the King of Pentacles anticipated, it took a little bit of a more negative turn. But I do think that there were some apologies that were exchanged and that they're willing to move forward. But, this is a active, creative energy here. A knight is somebody who is going to do. They go out on the adventure. And so this talks about them having gone and, try to be the best dancer, the best singer, the best writer, the prettiest, the most stylish, whatever it is. And I think with that, there came a little bit of, it affected the chemistry of the band, or I guess it's a band, right? The group. And then I wanted more information on the Wheel of Fortune in the reverse, and we got the Empress and the Eight of Cups in the reverse. Okay, so again, I think that they have a feminine energy. I don't know if their manager is, or their representation is a feminine energy, but this is somebody who's very, very creative. And that's what the Empress does. If she's not creating life within herself, she is creating something, creating a meal, creating art, she's creating. And I think that they just saw so much that happened so fast that when things slowed down, they almost considered walking away. They almost considered, I get the sense of like scrapping and tossing all of the songs and all of the things that they had worked on, and almost like starting from ground zero, because there were some bumps in the road that were a little unexpected. And then the Magician in the reverse, this is what was crossing or opposing them. Again, we have another young energy. I'm curious if some of the members in this band aren't rather young. because we've gotten, other than the Empress and the King of Pentacles over there, we've gotten a couple of pages and knights, and those tend to be on the younger side. And again, we're talking about a journey, so it goes from 1 to 10, and then from page to the king, and then we level up to an empress or an emperor. So here it looks like someone was being a little petty, a little immature, and they're like, hey, I'm being ignored. Hey, I need more screen time. I need more, I need to be at point in front of everyone when we're dancing. They're getting it more than I am. So I think that someone was being a little childish, and they felt like they were being overlooked or like their talents were being wasted. And that was what was crossing or opposing them. And then in the past, they had the Page of Pentacles in the reverse, and this is clarified by the Strength card in the reverse. So, do you see how these cards are kind of supporting one another? It just builds on. Onto the story, it just stacks. So this was talking about inexperience and not being very responsible with your resources, and it looks like this was an inner thing. This could be like, you know being too excited with all of the fame and everything that was, going on, whether it was the fans or, being in hair and makeup or photos, or just spending a lot of time practicing choreography and vocals and not getting a good night's sleep or not eating very well. So it was an inner choice that they weren't necessarily able to balance out. And so it looks like that was from inexperience, but hopefully they will learn from that. Now, over here with the Hanged Man, I wanted some, extra information, and we got two cards. Again, we were talking about a pause, and it is after being betrayed, after being heartbroken, and having some slowing down of momentum, like still moving, but not nearly as fast. And I like that these two came out like this because it looks like the slow movement is towards healing. Is towards healing during this pause. And that is what's going on and happening with Cat's Eye. And then I wanted to know more about this World in the Reverse because this is the second time that we got it. And it looks like this is about impatience. This is about them wanting, and again, I get the sense that stuff may have happened very quickly for them, and so now that it's taking a while, it's taking some patience. That they need some time. Like they're a little uncomfortable with that because they're like, "Hey, man, everything was happening so fast. Like, what's going on now?" And it's just difficult to wait sometimes. Sometimes we just have to wait until we get an answer, and that can be really hard. And then I wanted to know about this moon in the reverse, and this is clarified by, because this was the final outcome, I believe, and this was clarified by the Queen of Swords in the reverse. And so I think that they need to be a little bit careful here, because I did feel like this was being vulnerable, but there may be someone who is in the group who can be exceptionally judgmental. They might be really blunt and kind of harsh with words. They may lack empathy, but that may be their style of communication, and it may not be personal. But I do think that that person, this Queen of Swords, needs to work on that because you are in a group. You are not a solo artist. So now I just want to pull some general cards. These kept talking, so let me just see if stuff just flies out. There we go. What can we know? Yeah, I got the sense that the cards really just wanted to talk to us. Okay. Page of Cups again, Knight of Wands in the reverse, again, Knight of Swords in the reverse, Nine of Cups, and the Three of Cups. So all the cards that came out, we only got, oh no, we got three. We got Wands, swords and cups, lots of cups. So this is intuition, this is emotion and feelings. And so I think that this is them right here. You know, I think that this is them being happy and celebrating and just being excited. Excited for the group, excited for the adventure and the journey that they're about to embark on. And I love that there are three very distinct figures on here, because I think that when it comes to a group, you know, there are very specific and individual people in a group. So I think that this is their energy, and I love that. But I think that this also shows like three different people here: a Knight of Swords in the reverse, a Page of Cups, and a Knight of Wands. So, with this, I think that this is talking about them needing to depend on one another. They legitimately have to be codependent upon each other for them to be successful. I think that they also need to remain very, I want to say innocent, but like pure. They need to be open and honest with one another. If someone gets hurt, if someone is being mean, then they need to own up to it and they need to apologize for it. I think that they also need to respect the individual strengths of one another, because I think that they are strong, different. I think that they are in artistically strong individually. So I think that, you know, it complements the group as a whole, but it kind of like separates them. I hope that makes sense. I just feel like there are multiple talents within this group, and I think they should see that as a strength and not like a threat. And I think that they also need to be very mindful of how they communicate with one another and how they interact with, like, interpersonally, you know. Look, we got that Five of Cups in the reverse again, and then the Temperance card and the Ten of Cups. So I think that it's up to them. Like, they can make this work. They have to put work into it. And I mean, if they don't work it out, then they're going to go back to the Five of Cups in the upright, which is talking about like focusing on what you have lost, what you no longer have, and not seeing what you still have. You know, this is about mourning, this is about being sad and even depressed. But if they can work it out with one another, if they can walk that line, if they can stay warm and not hot or cold, then they can have it all. They can have everything they want and be emotionally satisfied. So now I want to know about, tell me about the relationships or the connections between these members. The connections between these members. Look what we got. World in reverse. Okay, so yeah, I think that there is some tension. I think that they are insecure, and I think that they don't really know, like, specifically what they bring to the table, and I think that they need to figure that out. Tell us about the connections between these in these relationships. Tell us about the connections in this group. Queen of Pentacles, Page of Swords, and the Two of Swords. Okay, so I think that this is good. I think that either one of them, or like not a supervisor, a chaperone or someone, has a more mature outlook. And I think that she kind of helps guide and settle like disputes, and also helps to make decisions and to help them move on from stuff. Like, don't let them fixate on something, focus on something. Like, hey, look, okay, so we had a little spat, we need to leave that alone and move forward. So I think that procrastination could also be an issue with them, like not wanting to make decisions. But I think that this Queen of Pentacles is a really good influence on them. What can we know about the future of Katseye? We got the Justice in the reverse, which we got earlier for the friends and family. We also got the Ten of Wands in the reverse, the Fool in the reverse, and the Tower in the reverse. Okay, so I think that they're going to be successful. I think that they might be a little reckless. They might take on more than they can chew, and they might let people kind of like push them around. They might not really stand up for themselves because they're trying to be successful. But ultimately, I think that they are going to kind of avoid and avert disaster, and that they'll come out victorious and, successful, whatever that is to them. So that is my reading for Cat's Eye. Today we used the Boo Tarot deck, the Modern Witches Tarot deck, and all of my major arcana were the Cat Tarot. Thank you for being here. I'll see you in the next one.